Nuttall. I'm Cherry Lyons.
My name is Jacqueline Duncan.
I'm Zach Lewis. My name is Susan Cavalieri.
I'm Ian McConaughey.
Hi, my name is Mandy Ellis-Boise and my venue number is 149.
143. My venue is 151.
148.
142.
My venue number is 145.
My studio is at the top of my garden, and it's absolutely wonderful because I can shut myself in here against the world, and then I can just do my own thing. I can paint up here, I can plan, I can actually teach up here, which I like to do as well. My influences really, I started painting again after a gap of 30 years. Once I moved down here to Devon. So the countryside and the coast here is what influenced me to start painting again. But I'm probably considered to be experimental in what I do. I paint in a lot of media and I'm not sort of worried about whether I mix it up either. I like to do all sorts.
My studio's outdoors and I like to get as much light as possible. I feel that in the natural light you can really see what you're doing properly instead of flexing my work, because I do flowers and trees and leaves and butterflies, and I like to paint wildlife. I like vivid colours and designs that you find in flowers. I like looking intently at things and then find a pattern, and then I'll bring that pattern out. The work doesn't end up looking like photography, it looks like art.
My studio has changed over the last 12 months because we have only recently moved to Torre. So the way in which it's evolving is through storytelling. So I've written a story and that has inspired a number of drawings which I think will evolve into paintings. I would say the main thing that has influenced my work in recent times is the music that my son writes, which I've created paintings and drawings for his albums. But I think a lot of it in current time has been architecture, more modern architecture, and when I mean modern I probably mean from the kind of work of Corbusier. He was a modernist, so we're actually talking probably 50-60 years ago rather than current architecture. So I have quite a collection of books and magazines. They quite often are a reference that I might use in my early sketching process, and that those sketches have been turned into charcoal drawings which I've found myself rediscovering after many years, and then these will probably lead to quite large paintings. I'm still very interested in the way in which architecture is evolving. We are now becoming rightly concerned about the environment, so we're looking at materials, we're looking at the way we can have less impact of resources, and I think that those give me an opportunity to see if there are things that I can put into my paintings and drawings that speculate on where it might go next.
My studio is probably a little bit different from what other people's studios will be like. It's not actually my studio, it's in the garden of our house, so it's not a working studio. And when I started the theme that I'm currently working through, I was visualising a virtual chapel. So as I do my work, I imagine what that work would look like in a chapel. So this is a secular chapel, it's not a religious chapel. It's got a religious name. It's the Chapel of St. Catherine, because my middle name is Catherine.
and a version of the Passion. And because when I was a schoolgirl, my passion was art, so you sort of envisage that this studio is actually set in a chapel, and a lot of the paintings you will see in there will be, they will look like religious paintings because I'm following the iconography of the convent school that I went to. So there would be like a religious element to it, but actually it's more how the harm that religion did to me when I went to a convent rather than the good. So it's religious iconography, but it's got a bit of a twist. So as I say, I'm very influenced by religious iconography because of going to a convent and not being a Catholic, having an artistic background, with my father being an artist. But I think my biggest influence is when I went to art school, and the artists that we studied that time are modernist artists, that would be Dada, Surrealism. So my work will have an element of religion and an element of Surrealism and an element of Dada in it. It all sounds quite weird, that's what it's like. So when you come in, it's traditional, it's fine art, it's paintings, but it is very symbolic and allegorical.
I've been in my studio for 2 years. We live in a somewhat rambling house that used to be an old watermill, and I made sure that the first room that was ready was the studio. I feel I'm incredibly privileged and lucky to have the view that I do. The natural light is hugely important for my work. Perhaps the most magnificent aspect is overlooking the River Dart. We are situated on a beach, and although it can be grey and cold, a bit muddy like today, it's an ever-changing source of inspiration. My work is based very much on my visual observation, in fact through, as I look out the window, and the natural environment, and water is a very key element. And for studios this year, I've used the idea of creating large-scale landscapes, as is the one behind me, and there are other parts of work which reduce the landscape and zone in and home in, and we look at the sort of the individual elements that form that landscape. I have a strong discipline and interest and formation in textiles, and that's a sort of a common thread in my work. I'm passionate about what I do, and I will often start off with an initial idea, and often use drawings to inform these. But as the work develops, quite often there will be a new change of course. And I think actually quite often some of the most interesting pieces of work do have this kind of flow and flux, such as the water winds its way along the river.
Well, my studio is full of all of my surreal work, and it's kind of in between is my wax works and my abstracts. It's really a place that I just actually do bits and pieces as I go along. I like to do wax in between oil because oil takes so long to dry. This one is one that I'm doing at the minute, and it's ready for its next layer, so I'm quickly doing a bit of wax, and then I should go back into this. Is what I really love, is doing the oil. I do combine the two sometimes, but it's only for making the colour perhaps a bit deeper. It is a separate process. I like the translucent colouring of some of the waxes, so that you start off with a light see-through and gradually build up to the dark one at the top. And then you polish. When it's nice and hard and dry, you polish and you actually bring the layers of colour through, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love just
wax for the colour. And they're nearly all abstract. Some are not. Some I do actually try and do a theme, but I just splosh colour on with wax and see where it takes me. Well, I like folklore and I like castles, bits of surrealism and a lot of mythology. There's Persephone, which is Greek mythology, and even the deviant stuff. I like that as well, the macabre. Having the 3 years at art school when I started, that kind of developed into me going a lot of different paths, because there's so many different ways of experiencing different forms of art from art school. They push you in different directions. So I loved history of art. I loved to do that as well. And it was nothing to see me totting around the art school carrying a big volume of Leonardo or something.
Tucked in this little valley, very beautiful valley, that's in between Brixham and Lupton House. And it's very green and very quiet, as you can hear. Surrounded by animals. You have to like animals, not that they're going to jump all over you, but they are all over the place. And I've really started painting since I've been here because it's so calm and beautiful and inspirational, and that's why art has now come to the fore. The studio specifically where I work is actually this table right here, because it's underneath a lantern that we've had put in and the light is superb. And because I'm working in watercolour and pen, it means that the light and the quality of light is very, very good no matter what time of year. So it's like being outdoors but indoors, which is great. And as I said, it's surrounded by such incredible nature that the whole time I'm feeling and seeing and absorbing colour and light, and it's just amazing to be able to do this work here. It's a joy. And I've always been interested in design and work, and have had a company where I had designed interior design accessories. And I think if you are interested in art, generally it spreads out in lots of different ways, so that whatever you do, what I find is whatever I do has to be done well. It's got, if I'm making something, it's like a cake, it has to be done nicely. Or if I'm designing a house, it's got to be done well. And colour, shape, form, all of these things play into it, and art is really, as I said, I drew a bit before here, but really painting, and particularly portraits, have happened around this table. So this is my studio. Yeah.
The bay is nice, it's beautiful, the light is gorgeous down here, and I suppose there's a lot of folklore and interest here.
It's near the sea.
I've always liked being near the sea, and this is a chance to get back to living by the sea.
As an artist, it's just a fantastic place to live.
After 2 years, I feel that I'm sort of beginning to be at one in my environment.
I think the atmosphere in Torbay is conducive to art and artists.
My experience so far returning to Devon has been good, and arriving in Torre, I'm really delighted with it.
Although it's not the most vibrant cultural hub, it has its own environment and its own way of being, and it's very calm, it's very relaxed. It's a great place to paint.
I think it's the quality of light. It's not St Ives. It's not. I don't know whoever's done any tests on exactly what light there is down in St Ives and here, but the quality of light is beautiful, and the seasons change very quickly in one day. And I think that the sea, and having the sea and the air around you all the time, means that when you settle down to do something and you need to refresh your brain, that just getting out, going out, every time you get in the car or go to do shopping, you're looking at something so extraordinarily beautiful that it is inspirational all the time.
But the one I really want to see, which is a bit obvious if anybody knows me, is the guy who did the David Bowie statue in Aylesbury, because he actually has got the cast of the statue. I'd love to see that. I'd just like to be able to go and see any of them really. But Devon's an absolutely huge county, so obviously that's not possible. But I guess that would be the one I'd want to see, is the David Bowie house.
I would say the barn, because we're all in the barn and we can all show bits and pieces in the barn.
The clay factory between Bitterford and Ivybridge, which has a lot of artists involved in the Devon Open Studios, and that's well worth a visit if you're round that way.